Hey, how's it going? I'd like to make that Japanese flashcard app. So let's do that. Okay, so we have cards passed here. I'm going to copy this and we're going to say just active cards or something, I guess. Okay, so now we need to go through and look at the cards. So first off, let's close. Actually, I meant to close all of the tabs. New. Come on. Why are you lagging? Okay, evaluate cards.py. So, card path equals active cards / for f in OS list directory card path. Sounds good to me. Import this name. And if f dot ends with no .mp3. Well, first off, let's see just how many there are. So cnt plus equals 1. Print cnt. There we go. What in God's name is that? What is this? What is this format that it outputted? Okay, so we have 1557. So let's see if we can extract the text. So we say text equals f dot split -1 dot split 0 print text. We'll see if that worked. All right, looks like it did. All right. If length of text is less than 2, then continue. Print skipping. We'll go like this. Of course, doesn't work if we break. I still printed everything. Okay, there's not a lot. I mean, there are a few words that are a single mora, but I don't want them in the. I don't want them in the. I mean, like what? Like mosquito is ka? I mean, do we want that as a card? I don't know. Maybe we do. Okay, you know what? I'll let the LLM decide. So, I don't know what the hell to call it. Card list equals that, and then we will say card list out of pen text. Right. Okay. So print card list. So let's come over here. Let's say I were asking an LLM to translate potential Kana flashcards for an English speaker. Example. This is the response I was thinking. JP. Can't use that. I don't know what that is. thought it was like a name or something. Alright, let me make sure that none of that is pornographic now that I've recorded it, and it's not. So it looks like it's mostly finding people. Maybe that's a bad example. Oh wait. Not that. Not that. Okay. Ico name. Yeah, and then yes. Good for flashcards or something. Faults. Reason. Names are not usually used for Kana flashcards. I'm not actually certain I want to exclude names. I'm just trying to create an example. What do you think of the format? Anything I should change? Cheap models will ramble, be inconsistent, produce useless explanations. Missing linguistic metadata. For flashcards, you'll eventually want part of speech. Translation ambiguity. Your current schema doesn't capture multiple meanings. Boolean is too rigid. What you really want is strong, weak, no. Replace Boolean with a rating. Flashcard rating. Lets you filter later without rerunning LLM. That is smart. Replace reason with tags. Proper noun, low frequency. Decision, yes, no, maybe. Multiple meanings, huge wins. Silent errors, incorrect filtering. Add reading. Okay, translate basic classification. Ambiguous, low confidence rating. This is where you save serious money. Alright, since the flashcard program is mostly for learning to read a sound out Kana, I'm not certain I'm comfortable with requesting multiple meanings. Maybe I'm being stubborn for no reason here. How could that work? Just give the English speaker every translation. I was planning on requesting parts of speech. Example, dog, noun, dove, verb, or dove, verb. So I don't confuse it with dove, noun. Oh, good parenthetical there. That's really good. You're not being stubborn. For counter-reading flashcards, show every possible meaning can absolutely make the cards worse. Your goal is not full lexical coverage. Your goal is closer to, can the learner sound this out? Does the card attach to a plausible meaning? Is the gloss simple enough to not distract? So I would not make the learner see every translation on the card by default. What I do instead is separate the internal metadata for the pipeline, display gloss for the learner. That gives you the best of both worlds. All right. All right. I've never heard of the game Tie, but I'm sure it's really fun. JP, display English, parts of speech, good for flashcards. All right. I like your rating and probability thing, but I need to limit the number of ambiguous definitions. Maybe I will filter that are over 50% only. So I have probability, it is tie game, and I want to encourage disambiguation with parentheticals. I go proper noun. Parentheticals when appropriate. But leave it unspecified for obvious things like that. As in a tied game. Oh! Oh God, I'm stupid. Okay, for English-facing flashcards, I'd probably render that as draw. Tied game. Alright. Alright, learning. Probability needs disambiguation. Alright. Prompting rule I'd use. I'd explicitly instruct the model, choose exactly one learner-facing English gloss, add a short qualifier only if needed to avoid likely confusion, do not add qualifiers for obvious items, include part of speech, include confidence for the selected. I gotta be honest. This does not sound like something a value model can handle. A value model might handle parts of it, but the combination is exactly where cheaper models tend to get shaky. The biggest weak points are not the JSON, they're fake confidence, bad qualifier judgment, sense drift, and schema inconsistency. So I would not ask a value model to do the whole job in one shot. What I would do is reduce the task until it becomes cheap model safe. I would especially avoid asking a value model for probabilities. Not because it cannot omit an item, but because numbers may not mean much. In your case, a small discrete confidence label is probably better. All right. Let the stronger model decide whether it should really become. But if the stronger model has to touch every card, shouldn't I just send everything to the mirror model first? The key question is what touch every card means. If the stronger model has to fully translate, classify, disambiguate, and justify every card, then yes, you probably should use the better model first. But if the stronger model only does a cheap second pass check on a compact draft, the math can still work. Premium only. Best quality, simplest pipeline. Bad cards are costly. Consistency matters a lot. Cheap first, premium on all. My honest recommendation for your specific task. I would test these two setups on a sample. All right. Give me a prompt. Give me a prompt and I will send it to several models. The prompt should expect a JSON list of, I don't know, 25 words. JSON array of strings. I will show you the results to grade. That's exactly the right way to evaluate. Here's a tight model comparable. Oh my god. You are generating simple kana reading flashcards for an English learner. Input, a JSON array of 25 Japanese words written in kana. Output, return a JSON array of the same length. Each item must be an object with this exact schema. JP, display, English, part of speech, qualifier, good for flashcards. Copy the original word exactly. Provide one simple common English meaning. Prefer everyday vocabulary. Use verb form to when appropriate. Avoid rare, technical, or obscure meanings. Do not include parts of speech here. Part of speech. Use only noun, verb, adjective, adverb, expression, name. Qualifier. Add a short clarifier word only if needed to avoid confusion. Draw, game. Steal, animal. Otherwise use null. Good for flashcards. True. Why this works. There are absolutely some bad entries here. I feel like we are forcing translations for word fragments or onomatopoeia. It's probably ironic that I have trouble pronouncing that. Oh, come on. Onomatopoeia. I feel like we're forcing translations for word fragments, or we should also clarify a standard way of returning counters with an example flat thing counter, and to transliterate honorifics. Well, Okay, we should also clarify a standard way of returning counters with an example. But most importantly, the model needs to feel safe saying, this is not a word. This is not a whole word, or it is ill-formed, etc. Right now, the prompt is too biased towards produce a gloss no matter what, which will make weaker models hallucinate translations. For fragments, malformed inputs sound syllabolic forms, but they do not understand suffixes. Alright. Unknown. This gives model to... Yeah. Yeah. Counter, honorific, onomatopoeia, fragment, ill-formed, unknown. How to represent special items. Alright. This is much safer. Why transliterate honorifics instead of translating them? I think your instinct is right. Sanchan can... Qualifier honorific is much better and more honest. And besides, it makes the weebs happy. Okay, so yeah. Okay, input words. So go like this. Prompt equals like that. Paste JSON array here. Now we will do this here. So from rate limited LLMs, import get managed LLM map. So we will see what we have. So LLM map equals get managed LLM map. Print LLM map dot keys. I never know what we have. Honestly, I think I'm just passing it to a strong model. Okay, GPT-5, GPT-4, GPT-5 Mini. We are definitely not sending it to Nano. Small, Mistral, Opus, Sonnet, Haiku, DeepSeek, V3. Okay. Okay, yeah, a lot of these look good. So, yeah. LLMs to use, GPT-5, GPT-4. I know for a fact that these are going to fail horrifically. Mimo V2 Flash. No local, nothing this small. Yeah. Now, I have absolutely no doubt that Opus and GPT-5 will do just fine. So, let's choose 25 randomly. Choose 25 randomly. Okay, so items. Well, first off, let's say cardless copy equals dot copy. Okay, then wow. Items. Wow, length of items is less than 25. And we will go clc.pop secrets.rand below length clc. That sounds good. Purpose name. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so final prompt equals prompt plus json.dump s items indent equals to ensure ASCII equals false. And let's look at what the final prompt is going to look like. Oh, apparently I have to import JSON. That's fine. So yeah. All right. So say you're generating simple kana input words, and then we will say return only valid JSON. Okay. That sounds good. So let's see. So ask multiple, oh god damn it. Ask model expect JSON. Multiple parallel requests expect JSON. To JSON files. What in God's name is that? What is that? Go to declaration. Return parallel JSON. You know, oh. Okay, yeah, that's not what I want. Okay, multiple parallel requests expect JSON. All right, results equals multiple parallel. Stop helping me. Okay, LLM names, prompts, final prompt, multiplier 1, retries 1. Well, no, that's fine. And then LLM map is none. No, we have an LLM map. And concurrent requests is, sure, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we will just want to print results, and then we will want to with what? With open results.json, write, comma, encoding equals UTF-8. Yeah, like that. Results, translation, JSON. And here we go. Okay, starting 5 LLM calls, 1 prompt times 5 models, multiplier 1, Haiku returned first, then Mimo v2 Flash, Sonnet GPT-4. Which one are we missing? Yes, DeepSeek v32. Taking forever as usual. Okay. All right. I think we're going to want to show it. We're generating simple. Okay, I don't actually think this is what we want to do. Scratch. Okay, new Python file. Hold on. Well, new Python file, scratch.py. With open read JSON dot load, not load S. Data equals like that. Then 4k in data dot keys, print k, and then break. I want to see what one of these is. Return only valid JSON. I don't want keys, I want values. Did exactly what I said, not what I wanted. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, sorry. Model haiku, request number, success true. Oh, yes, this is exactly what I want. Thank you. Wait. Wait, what? Haiku, GPT-4. Okay. Okay, I misunderstood. I forgot how this works. All right. Let me know how they did. DeepSeek was slow as shit, like usual. This is a great test batch. Lots of signal here. I'll go model by model, then give you a bottom line recommendation. And yeah, DeepSeek being slow is basically part of its personality. Okay. All models follow schema pretty well. Your prompt is solid. Real differences are lexical accuracy, handling edge cases, good for flashcards. The hard part, as expected, is semantic judgment, not formatting. Best overall, Sonnet. Well, of course, it's also the most expensive. Very good semantic judgment, good restraint, didn't hallucinate, clean handling of tricky cases. Correct as expression. Okay. Slightly work. Yeah, I'm not going to nitpick shit like that. Okay. Technically correct, but slightly unnatural versus size. Best balance of correctness plus pedagogy plus restraint. Very strong. GPT-4. Okay. Wrong sense. Slightly overconfident. Didn't back off ambiguous items. High accuracy, but slightly less cautious. Good but uneven. Generally solid translations, good structure adherence, similar to GP4 on many items. Same major error. Interesting. Decent but weaker nuance. Middle tier haiku, surprisingly strong overall. Haiku is very inexpensive. So if I could make haiku work, that would be great. But I have to check it. Weakest, some correct outputs. That sounds pretty bad. Interjection, models that failed. This is a kanji homonym leak problem. Cheap models, even good ones, confused to step on. Onomatopoeia. Stirred up, surging feeling. Okay. If you want cheap plus QA, no. If I were doing QA, it would GPT 5.2 or 3 probably. Haiku is conservative, fewer hallucinations. Sonnet fixes nuances, edge cases, what not to do. Do not use MIMO. Don't rely on probabilities. You were right to doubt that. Don't assume models handle onomatopoeia well. Prompt tweak suggestions based on results. If a kana could correspond to multiple unrelated meanings, prefer the everyday conversational meaning unless clearly a verb. Okay. Sounds like Sonnet is pretty good. Alright, so let's come back here to evaluate cards. Important rules. I'm worried that Sonnet thinking and the way that they're charging tokens now is just going to make it so much more expensive than GPT-5 that it doesn't even make sense to treat it as a mid-range model at this point. That is not true of Haiku. Now, what I could do, I suppose, is I could go through and generate for every... I could do 2 samples, but I would need another inexpensive model. And where am I going to find another inexpensive model? Like, I don't know. And then I would still need a smarter model to check it. I don't think that makes sense. All right. So with result translations, and honestly, I don't think that we need the input keys. So let's say results. Let's just write it the way it is. That's fine. Okay, choose 25 randomly. We're going to go with just... I think we should go with Haiku. F it. I think Sonnet is good enough. Okay. Okay, modify this to generate multiple parallel requests, expect JSON. Multiply this to generate prompts for every set of 25. The last will be smaller. This is okay. Prompts for every set of 25. And then collate the data. We really only need the values, not the keys. Since the keys what? Show the entire prompt, which is wasteful in this and probably all other instances. Yeah. Okay. I showed you one value, which is designed to aggregate multiple requests on a single prompt. The structure makes less sense for one prompt per one element, but it still works. Here's a clean way to batch the whole list into chunks of 25, then call the model once per chunk and save only the response values. If you want an even more compact output with just the... No, I don't think that that's necessary, so... Do we want the original order? Hell yeah, we want the original order. LLMs equals sonnet. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's how I did it. So concurrent requests. I'm tier 2. Will I get rate limited with 10 concurrent requests on site? Wait. One question. My library handles rate limiting. Alright. If you blast 10 concurrent requests, they all get 429, then retry with back off. Everything slows down. You don't crash, but you lose efficiency. Token bottleneck, but one for your case. Each request, that's not tiny. If you do 10 concurrent, it's fine. If I get rate limited, my library will back off. So, alright, where are my prompts? Only valid, yeah. So for the test, we just need to make sure that it works. So prompts equals prompts 0 through 2. Assert length of prompts equals 2. Test run before I run up a bill. Yeah, I've been there. Okay. What I'd quickly sanity check for this run. Well, hold on. We're just gonna run it. We'll see if it should work. I'm expecting it to work. Alright. Output path. Output path what? What is the output path? Results translation compact.json. Alright, that was pretty damn fast. I've already forgotten. Results translation compact. Results translation input items. Okay. I think this looks pretty good. Yummy. Oichi. That's cute. Instead of oishi. Oichi da yo. Alright, okay. I think this looks good and I'm ready to run the whole thing. But check it quick. Safe to run at scale, good. I'll keep this tight and practical. This is production ready for your use case. Scheme adherence. Alright. Green lane fish. Gloom. Bitterness. This is exactly what a human would do. I honestly probably would have included those, but that's fine. Expressions handled correctly. Sonnet is reliable enough to run solo. I don't know what a green lane is, but These seem like reasonable words. Are they extremely rare in Japanese? It's really about what belongs in a beginner-friendly reading deck. They're not extremely rare, but they are low utility for beginners. Models filtering is actually reasonable for your goal. It's a real fish. No, I believe it's a real fish. I've just never heard of it before. Gloom. Pent-up frustration. Not commonly used standalone in modern speech. Feels incomplete without context. Gloom is a bad gloss. Too generic, slightly wrong nuance. Okay. I shouldn't have nitpicked. Let's evaluate these cards, all of them now. Batch size. Feel like we can do a little extra. Run evaluate cards. Okay, 63 LLM calls in batches of 12, and we will see what this does. Here we go. Haha. All right. Okay, 23, 24, 25. All right. Okay, so come over here. Here is how I was generating my list of cards. Basically, they are just file names. Alright. Looks like it's done. Looks like it is done. Write a simple script which gives me basic stats on how many are rejected or kept. I forgot to mark if words were katakana or hiragana. Check that and include it in these stats as well. Okay, here's a simple script that reads your results, translation, compact, and prints total cards kept versus rejected, breakdown by type, hiragana versus katakana, and kept rejected split within each script bucket. If you want a slightly more useful version, here's one extra block you can add to see examples from each script bucket. Seems reasonable to me. Okay. Is that right? I think it is. Okay, total cards kept 1,090, rejected 467. 808 katakana, 749 hiragana. Alright. Onomatopoeia. ill-formed, counter. All right. Okay. Better than I'd expect. 70% kept rate. That means your source list is decent quality, your filtering isn't overly aggressive, and the model isn't hallucinating junk. 90% is probably, whatever. All right, it mostly kept the katakana. It's about the same. This is interesting and good, not over-filtered. Okay. Yes, I need to isolate these. Get the cards and the metadata in their own folder, only the ones I'm using. I also need to add data for katakana versus hiragana, and I need to check for cards which have identical English cues. There are guaranteed to be no identical Japanese ones, but not the other way around. And as a learner, that always bugs me. Let's check for dupes first before we do anything. Dupes and near dupes. Maybe disambiguation fixes everything. We have to define what the hell a near dupe is. Yeah, do dupes first. That's the right order. Exact cue dupes. Same English cue after normalization. Near dupes. To abduct, to kidnap. Potential disambiguation misses. Same cue but different Japanese. How is it gonna... Okay, whatever. Human facing cue. Alright. Is it using like a library or something? Difflib. Default dict. Well, oh, right. Alright. Let's see what it does. Trouble. Okay, swaying gently. To sway gently. Spinning, going round and round. Slump. I'm gonna disagree that one. Some of these do not seem like problems. Tero. Oh shit. But oh boy. Some of these are not problems at all. Like slum and slump. Yeah, the output proves a fuzzy matcher is too naive. Difflib is just string similarity, so it happily flabs nonsense like slum and slump. Okay, exact duplicates. Okay, drop generic English fuzzy matching to make it stricter. Better replacement for near dupe selection. It keeps the real duplicate reports you care about. Replaces the fuzzy English matching. Engage. According to. Interesting. Aluminum. It almost seems like we need to specify. I mean, they do that. They shorten lots of words. A little better. I don't know that we should just blindly get rid of things. Maybe we can salvage the English by rewording. What do you propose? Yeah, you don't delete, you upgrade the English. Japanese is fine, the English layer is too lossy, and your output confirms it. Most duplicates are actually nuance differences, registry differences, grammar differences, or loan words or native splits. Instead of remove duplicates, do make each English cue uniquely identifiable. 4 categories, what to do with each. Harmless families. These differ grammatically, not semantically. Adverb, adverb. All right, casual. Rule-based, fast, good enough. This doesn't scale well. Okay, let's see. 40 cards. Run a collision-only LLM pass. Update English glosses. Rerun duplicate check. Only delete if still identical. What your data is telling you, this is the key insight. Your Japanese data set is rich. Your English layer is underspecified. Do not delete duplicates yet. This is a good report, but we need to send this to a strong LLM. And ask for advice. We'll say, here are 2 or whatever cards which seem ambiguous. Decide what to do for a mid level Kana flashcard app. Your choices are remove one word, remove duplicate, rephrase duplicates, rephrase duplicates, add a clue to the student, etc. Then a smart LLM, probably GPT-5, can deal with these on a case-by-case basis, rather. Including getting rid of cards all together if need be. Not a bulk translation task, so this is exactly where a stronger model earns its keep. The good setup is bulk model created the cards. Your duplicate report found suspicious groups. Strong model reviews one ambiguous group at a time. The strong model chooses the action for that group. This is much better than trying to solve with heuristics alone. Why, thank you, I know. What I'd ask the stronger model to do is for each duplicate group, give it the shared English queue, all Japanese cards in the group, each. Honestly, I was just going to pass it the entire fucking card. Keep. Alright. Format for each group. One important instructions. For a flashcard app, do not preserve subtle dictionary distinctions unless they are useful to a learner. That prevents a stronger model from being too encyclopedic. My actual recommendation, use GPT-5 on exact duplicates. I like it. This is my original evaluate cards script. Modify it. Modify/combine it with your dupe detection. I need a single deduped output. If that takes multiple steps, that's fine, but I need to get there. Okay, modify, combine it with your dupe detection. Here is a single script that gets you one final deduped output in stages. Evaluate all cards with Sonnet. Stop. We've already evaluated with Sonnet. Detect duplicate English groups. Duplicate review. Okay, while it's spinning its damn wheels, let's see what our usage is like. Ooh, that is not negligible. It's those thinking tokens. They really bite you in the ass, and Anthropic has become more aggressive with charging tokens. They jacked up the price in a sneaky way, which is kind of shitty, actually. Come on, Agnes. Oh no. Not 1 penny. Anything but that. Okay, that will read results, translation, compact, extract. Set this one after you do bulk run. Run evaluation, run dedupe LLM. Okay. I was freaking out for no reason. Okay, so yeah, run evaluation is false. I do not. Run dedupe LLM, true. Gotta have faith. Do I have faith? Alright. Saved 1090, kept cards to results, kept flat.json. Saved 41 duplicate groups to results, duplicate JSON groups. Started 41 LLM calls. 1 model, multiplier 1. Okay. Scolding, casual, kansai. But, neutral, sentence start. Oh, I think that is actually keredo, kedo, demo. そういうことか. Alright. Might be casual, polite, common, formal, interjection, dejected. This is awesome. This is absolutely awesome. Alright. Oh, and it got rid of 2 of the butts. Nemo's gonna touch the butt. Okay. Okay, it looks like it worked. So, results translation compact and results final deduped. And where did it move the files to? Did it move or did it copy? Alright, results final deduped.json. Results final deduped. Okay, I guess that is tie, draw, stalemate. Okay, the qualifier is actually really good here. So display English, we have 1070. Shouldn't that have reduced? You know what? I actually think it was 1080 before, and I just lost count or something. So I think this is it. I think these are our flashcards, and we are good to go. 1 point. All right. Results final deduped. We should probably active cards. Okay. Metadata.json. Okay. I moved results final JSON to active cards metadata.json. Okay. I think there are unused flashcards in that directory. Make a quick scratch.py for me to run, which removes, dupes, and verifies nothing is missing that is in the JSON file. Should I do this? This would be trivial to whatever. Alright, I don't think I'm starting on the app tonight, but if I can just get the cards ready. Set to false to actually delete the files. Alright. Automatic renaming normalization. I do not believe that that is necessary. These sound highly unneeded, but you have one shot. All right. Oh God, I'm getting flashbacks. I don't know why. I don't remember how it happened, but I ran this and I messed up some text and it was seriously screwing me up. All right, okay, so let's come in here and go to scratch.py and paste. You know what? I'm going with the dry run. Okay, missing files, total files to delete. Let's do it. Boom. Okay, perfect match. Files equals metadata. 1070. And I feel like I should back this up or something. So open an Explorer, active cards. All right. Active cards. I don't know. Add to archive, add to active cards. Active cards, backup to use for app, April 17th, 2026. Right?
아이콘 아카데미 아시안 어드바이스 아치코치 아도키나이 어드바이자 어드바이스 아도무.
All right. Should I hire a Japanese guy to manually review these? That sounds annoying, but I don't know that I should make a friggin' paid app if the quality is shit. It's bad. Yes, but not for everything, and not in the way you're imagining. You don't need a review every card human pass. That would be annoying and expensive and mostly wasted effort. What you do want is targeted human validation where it actually matters. Based on everything you've shown, you're already at pretty good indie app quality. No hallucinated junk, good filtering, sensible glosses, deduping logic. What you don't have yet is perfectly natural English nuance, pedagogically optimal distinctions, consistency at a native teacher level. The last 10 to 15% is exactly where a human helps. The real risk, the danger isn't some cards are slightly off. The danger is some cards are subtly misleading. Examples, awkward nuance differences. What is that? Kiko chanai versus ta da. Jesus Christ. Never accuse me of speaking Japanese. Okay, register differences. Kara versus nanode. Weird gloss choices that feel off. These won't break the app, but they affect trust. Smart approach. Don't do this. Hire someone to review all 1,000 cards. Waste of time and money. Sample review. High return on investment. 10 to 200 random cards plus all duplicate groups you fixed. Have a native speaker review only those. Ask, is it natural? Would this confuse a learner? Is the English weird? Alright. You don't need I wasn't going to hire a professional linguist. What I was actually most worried about was TTS issues. Pitch pattern and just general TTS weirdness. Though everything you mentioned is also legit. That's a very different and more important concern, and you're right to worry about it. Users will forgive slightly imperfect English. They'll not forgive audio that sounds wrong or unnatural. The real TTS risk for Japanese. Pitch accent, the big one. Japanese meaning isn't just pronunciation, it's pitch pattern. Yeah, I know. I was many years into my study before somebody told me that. I even distinctly remember being angry that the words for bridge and chopsticks were identical, and they weren't. Okay. So, oh my God. What? Okay, I swear on my life I didn't read that before I said that. That's funny to me that's like the standard example. Alright, word isolation problem. Flashcards play words in isolation. TTS often uses sentence level prosody. Sounds robotic or unnatural for single words. You're feeding Aiko. TTS prefers, yeah. Without kanji, it guesses reading, may pick wrong accent, may sound unnatural. Loan words often sound off in text-to-speech, especially with English like stress. Can sound weirdly flat or overpronounced. What is that? Aisu? Is that Aisu? Aisu. Alright. Yes, but not for reviewing cards. You need human ears for audio QA. Best approach, high return in. Generate all audio, what you have, sample, audit. Verb, I don't have any verbs. Well, okay, I might have a few. Does the native speaker listen? Does this sound natural? Okay, you don't need perfection. You're checking for obviously wrong pitch. Switch TTS engine. I used 11 labs, then I think it's pretty good. And I also QA'd. I used 11 labs and I QA'd pretty aggressively using ARS Whisper and demanding exact matches. So I am not expecting hallucinations, or at least very, very few. It's uncanny valley, robotic voices and very, very subtle mispronunciations that I am worried about. Why can't I just do this? Every word in a giant list, every MP3 glued together with 0.8 seconds pause between, and someone just listens. Most are 1 second apiece, even if that is 2.8 seconds each. 2.8 times 1070. That is less than 50 minutes of listening. Really think that's a bad idea? You're basically describing a continuous audio QA path. For your case, it's one of the highest return on investment things you can do. Yeah, you just told me not to do it. But there are 2 important tweaks that'll make a difference. If you just give somebody a long audio file, they'll miss things. Not because they're bad, because there's no context, no expectation of what's correct. Make it active listening, not passive. Listen and flag anything that feels off even slightly, and then give them a super simple task. Add a spoken index. Before each word, insert word audio. So the reviewer here is 123. Cool. Without this, feedback becomes useless. Slightly longer pause. 0.8 is tight for human reaction. Give them time to think and mark notes. Give them very specific instructions. Sounds robotic or unnatural, has weird pitch or stress, sounds like something a human wouldn't say, feels off. It's okay to flag generously. Expect 5 to 15% flag. That's normal. You're not aiming for perfect paths. You're asking for no embarrassing audio. Why this works so well. This catches exactly what you're worried about. Subtle prosody issues, unnatural timing, uncanny valley effects. LLM review, useless for audio. Whisper QA catches gross errors, catches subtle human perception issues. Optional upgrade, very high value. If you want to go from good to very solid, add a second listener, even briefly. You don't need full duplication. Just give 50% overlap. Compare flagged items. If both flag the same clip, definitely fix it. My honest verdict, your idea is absolutely worth doing, not overkill, probably the single best QA step left. Final recommendation, do exactly what you said with 3 tweaks. Add index numbers, increase pause slightly, give clear flagging instructions, then it seems like the cues should be in Japanese. The number is fine, but I don't think the listener should have to swap between English and Japanese. I don't think the listener should have to swap between English and Japanese. All right. Pure Japanese flow. You need indexing. Japanese index. I don't actually recommend this. Slightly annoying. Timestamp based. Just note the timestamp when something sounds off. 12:43. What if I batched? Or Japanese. Batch 1. Then 25 words. 15 words. Batch 2. You're basically converging on what audio QA people actually do. Chunked listening with light anchoring. 10 to 20 words per batch. Yes. Japanese batch labels. What if we just batched to separate MP3 files and let the person handle it? Okay, zero cognitive interruption, natural pacing, better QA accuracy, simpler implementation, no TTS for labels, no timing math. This is basically how pros do it. Oh yeah, well, I am a QA guy. Alright, provide a reference file. Well, I can say batch 1, word 1. Alright. Alright. Make the code to do the batches. I want the results randomized so that similar spelled words aren't grouped together, which can hijack people's brains. Just do secrets.brand below. Use PyDub to glue things together. FFmpeg is also available if you need it. Don't know if you do. Yes. The combined audio reports and text should be isolated in its own folder. All right. I think we should include the translations. Text files. Here, let's do this. Scratch. This should go pretty fast. Well, if you're encoding MP3s, that can take a while. Oh, God. Oh my God. It's the opposite of fast. Let's see, 1070 divided by 15. Taking about 3 seconds each. Okay, that's not that bad. Let me, I'll pause this and go make some tea or something. All right, I'm back. Let's see here. Output written to QA audio batches. So audio.
およよいざしぶとへまどろむじわじわレプリカ
Replica. Okay, if they're roughly 31 set, well, let's see. That's really short. Okay, they're about 31 seconds each, and there are 72 batches. So 31 times 72 divided by 60, 37 minutes of audio. All right, let's look at what the reports look like. Reports randomized. Summary. Where? God damn it. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. Script here gonna. Okay. This is pretty good. And the important thing is somebody would be able to do this pretty quick in like 2 hours of time. So I guess I'll make a job request or something. Yeah. Sounds good. I'll see. I'll check on Fiverr. Okay, let's see here. I was probably going to use Fiverr unless you think there is a better platform for finding a native Japanese speaker. Fiverr's fine, but not the best for what you're doing. That's what I was worried about. You're not hiring a voiceover. You're hiring a native listener with good judgment. The key distinction. You want somebody to detect unnatural I know what I want. All right. Freelancer doing a gig. Platform breakdown. Italki. Native speakers, language tutors. You can talk to them live. Well, yeah, but they have a predefined role, though. That's the problem. Structured tutoring platform. Wow. I don't know. I think I'm going to try Fiverr because I think it's really obnoxious to go onto a platform and say, oh, you offer service X. Well, how about if you do service Y for me? I think that's rude. And when people have done that to me, it's annoyed me. So, yes, everything sounds good. This one sounds slightly unnatural. I wouldn't say it like that. Tell me anything that sounds even slightly unnatural and be picky. You need a native speaker who cares. You know what? I think I'm going to reach out to a contact that I have in Japan, and I'm going to ask if they know somebody that would like to do it. Because this is sort of a pain. Okay. Before I go, write instructions, Fiverr style, title and job description in Japanese, saying basically what it is I want done. Include a translation of what you said for my benefit. Benefit. Alright. Japanese audio naturalness check. Native speaker listening QA, approximately 50 minutes. I'm looking for a native Japanese speaker to review audio for a Japanese learning app. They'll be given MP3 files containing many short audio clips, about 1 second each. Where is that? Whatever. All clips are Japanese words or short expressions. Total listening time is about 50 minutes. Listen to the audio and flag anything that sounds unnatural, sounds robotic or synthetic, has strange pitch or accent, feels unnatural as Japanese, feels off in any way, even if you can't explain why. How to report. You can report issues by indicating position or writing the Japanese word directly. Important. It does not need to be perfect. Please flag anything that feels even slightly unnatural. Native Japanese speaker, good ear for natural speak, careful and detail oriented. Optional if you want better candidates. You could add one line. Optional test sample. Alright. If you get replies that look like this, don't hire them. これは何をAlright. Alright, well, I think I am done. And if this is anything like my attempts at using Mechanical Turks back in 2012, this is about to be the biggest pain in the ass of the decade. So, thanks. If anybody watched this, I will be surprised. But anyways, see ya.